So what can they do? Nothing? I mean, I'm sitting here in my brain, all I can see is Alexander Litvinenko coming out and holding a press conference in Russia. For those of you that don't know, he was kind of like the deputy in the organized crime division of the FSB when Putin had taken over. And he came out and held a press conference because he had been given an order by his boss, who the next boss over him was actually Putin at the time, to perform a hit on an oligarch that they wanted to get rid of. So they were weaponizing the FSB to actually go after rivals and take them out on behalf. And Litvinenko came out. He did a press conference. He showed his face. He was there with his other deputies. They wore masks and called Russia a mafia state. He said, "We have fallen to organized crime. You know, the people running the FSB are actually in cahoots with the gangsters."
Yeah, sure.
So he was brave enough to do that. You know, I was sitting around waiting for the 4 years when Donald was in president for someone at the highest levels of intelligence to disclose what they knew about him, and nobody did. Right? It was up to reporters, and that failed. You know, so. Like that's it. The FBI just becomes a protection racket.
You know, this is something I've been on TV all week on this topic, and on of course the murder in Manhattan, and even what Greg brought up is the drones in New Jersey. It's been a busy week, but this corruption angle I have not been asked about yet, and I think we're looking at a recipe for corruption across the law enforcement and intelligence agencies, because for one reason, you know, Trump has a disdain for inspectors general, a disdain for them, and has said repeatedly, I'm either doing away with them or I'm bringing them under my supervision. So when good agents and employees want to expose a constitutional violation or corruption, and they typically would run to an IG, I don't think that's going to be an option. I don't. And I think it's going to be get the job done at any cost. I mean, you remember Trump famously saying at some rally he was with where there were a lot of police, and he said, you know, hey, don't be kind when you arrest these guys.
Hit their head on the car. Right. You don't need to protect them. Yeah,
exactly. Now just put that on steroids in terms of not just physical abuse of suspects, but do whatever you need to do to get the goddamn job done. And I think that's where we're going to be headed.